It's suddenly becoming the new drug of choice for young people in Kern County, heroin. Tonight, Eyewitness News begins a series of reports with an exclusive in-depth look at the problem. Here's investigator Kurt Rivera with more.
Well, those who use it say it's a high like none other, and you may be surprised by just how widespread heroin abuse has become. But we want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is graphic.
It's like your body gets really warm. You can taste it.
This 29-year-old Bakersfield heroin addict
You can feel it in your head.
is shooting up for her nightly high.
It feels like you're shooting acid in your arm.
She uses a small syringe, or rig as it's called, filled with black tar heroin 2 or 3 times a day. And after thousands of injections, she can no longer use her veins on either arm or leg. How long is the track mark?
It's about half a foot. From like here to here.
Linda, as we'll call her, a heroin addict for 9 years. She served time in state prison. She wanted to show and tell in the hopes others don't become like her.
How widespread is the heroin problem here and locally?
I think it's bad, really bad. I mean, everybody that I went to high school with, that you would never ever think they would do something like that. All those people are on it now, and their little sisters, their little brothers, you know, they're on it.
In fact, internal law enforcement statistics provided by the Kern County Sheriff's Department reveal in 2007, heroin was a 0% concern as a, quote, dangerous threat to the community in a survey of agencies on the West Coast. But in 2011, more than 11% reported heroin as a danger, and the trend continues to climb. Local law enforcement says the sudden surge in heroin use comes down to basic economics, supply and demand. Once expensive, it's now cheap. $10 gets you a quarter gram of heroin, just a fraction of the cost from a few years ago.
The price just in the last couple of years has dropped basically in half.
Since he works undercover, this Kern County narcotics officer says the rise in heroin use is directly related to the higher cost of popping opioids or prescription pain pills like OxyContin or Vicodin.
Those become widely used and then ultimately abused, and then now these kids are addicted to a pill that's $20 a pop, and then you can go out in the street and, you know, and get the equivalent amount of heroin for a fraction of the price, like a fifth, sixth of the price.
So where is the heroin coming from? Places like Afghanistan, Colombia, and Mexico, where Kern County gets its black tar heroin. Obtained from the opium poppy, drug cartels from Mexico are smuggling it across the border. Have the cartels infiltrated this area?
I can say that we are seeing more and more of associates of the cartels here.
Carl Beckett is the Drug Enforcement Agency resident in charge of the Bakersfield office. In his 2.5 years here, he says cartels are ramping up production of heroin in mass quantities.
We've done about 5 separate investigations targeting high-level drug trafficking organization, and on average, we're seizing between 14 to 20 kilos of heroin. On the West Coast, you can get it between $30,000 and $40,000 a kilo. On the East Coast, it can go anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000 a kilo. That's a lot of heroin.
This 41-year-old former heroin addict had been a user 16 years.
It gives you a lot of comfort, you know, when you're using. You know, it's a familiar place to be.
Clean, he says, this time for 2 months. He's been to state prison 7 times for possession and dealing. He has a message for parents.
It's a bad thing when kids get all wrapped up in this because, you know, their parents, they try to do everything they can, you know, because they love their kids and stuff, and, you know, their kids kind of just manipulate them.
And his former girlfriend and past customer Linda has her own message too.
It's all great at the beginning, you know, you're getting high and this and that, but it grabs a hold of you and it takes everything, you know, your car, your house, your money, your family, everything.
Linda says she wants to kick heroin, but in her words, she keeps, quote, putting it off. Now here's a preview of what you'll see Monday at 5 when our series continues. William, as we'll call him, is a 24-year-old recovering heroin addict born and raised in Bakersfield. He's currently on his 11th stint in rehab.
How many shots a day at the peak? 10. 10? Yeah, give or take.
The story of 3 recovering heroin addicts and their eye-opening stories Monday at 5 only on Eyewitness News.